Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious. Julie is happy when Moors are happy. Vixens wink fake lashes trying to trap me. 40 days and nights battling the lower demons. This is not their land, hybrids can't be freemen. If this is not their land, who's the immigrant thinking they're sovereign? Imagination figment, recessive is their status, lacking pigment. Game for the Thanksgiving, but no commitment to indigenous Moors they conquered with Bibles, signs in the vitals and signs in the cycles, only to strangle, embracing my rivals. Free national standards, not playing with the tribals. Each Moor is their own Christ, not disciples. Whether hands or thoughts, no worshiping idols. Always carry my Moorish Quran, no recitals. Everyone will not process ancients' arrivals. Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
Innate mystic ability to show and prove a lesson, coupled with the agility to move you with the message, presence of divine mind to navigate you with a reference, urgent with a purpose, perfect. Emergent urban legends, real Moors, not a question or a choice or a preference. You are who you are, you should have the same obsession. Broke the same jewels to a dude, the corner, Jane and Western. What you reppin', all that effort, that direction, keep you separate in a world of blind sheep. I was born to be a shepherd, mind like an elephant. Got the paws of a leopard, means I'm wise and I'm strong. Crank you up like I'm a record, take you to the body shop, correct your lines to true vector manifestations. Matter, energy, and mind, spirit men unsung. Trey Young dropping dimes until you tighten up, you catching splinters from the pine. Clean the clouds out your thoughts, that's what keep you in the bind.
Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
Ominous overtones, picking over the bones, reciting Andromeda's poem. Memory overload, the longer the thought, the shorter the memory hold. Was told by Bush all about a Novus Ordo Seclorum. Remember the storm, how tender the form, losing your sense of decorum. Once again the pressure is on. Dimensions were formed at the end of this thorn, tempting fate with flesh, taking steps back and forth. Ethereal highways plagued by birds of prey. Intrigue and scurrilous cunning find a way to be difficult, and just a few feet below there lies another road where evil grows. Thought to be a pinnacle where schemers walk and players play. With traitorous grins, the culprits lay in the midday. Sultry sunbones bleach away. That's okay, prophet knows where I'm at along the roadway.
A few feet below is another road where schemers walk, where traitors grin and culprits bask in the sun. They think they are on the same road with true Moors, but the Moors are high above on a pinnacle where they might view the destructionists as they fall for the last time and their bones bleach in the sultry midday sun.
When a soul eater is summoned, someone conjure. Be a master of a cult or be conquered. Demons all around you when lower self is active. Wisdom is the shield so souls won't be captives. Jabberwockies are dragons, not not a group of dancers. Battle over self with energy transfer enhancers. Every foe has handlers. Use protection candles. Trust intuitive visions and lions' dens like Daniels. Drew Ali, the mastermind, study his manual, page to page. Keep scavengers in a state of rage. Throw them off course or press them into full court. You can't stop scavengers making signs of the cross. Goblins want your soul too. For them, it's soul food. Keep you in a low mood and make you pose nude. Shaking your hips and ass, being a harlot. Revelation beast bitch with face of mascara. Sons thinking they sexy, twerking and grinding. Innocence destroyed, getting molested by Biden. Or get set off course, mess with a siren. Do well under pressure, become a diamond.
Want your video to stand out? Go to motionarray.com. Logo Steppin's music, please.
Here we go. Raka! North Star! That way. And North Star's that way. Canaanland moves. Read off we pay every day. Okay. Uplift the V cause we all base. We enforce the law and we obey. Forefathers from before and still today. Reading my Quran and my Torah. Universal laws in more ways. Read 4 chapters, receive it 4 ways. Great divine love rules on first. Before I circle blocks, man, I circle 7s first. You bust the image, but your rhymes hurt. Declare 13 disrespected earth. Love, but it's all in God's plan. Today's mathematics don't judge a man. Unity of life, embodiment of truth. I'm responsible for every deed, cause I seen the proof. No, but Drew X. Do I have to draw it out for you? Cause nationality is not a color I can use. Jerry Spruce, standing on my square, even without shoes. On the highest authority, spirit of blue. Marcus Garvey, whirlwind times 2. The world's in the wind when the trumpet blew.
Stand up, go into your bathroom. If you got a big floor to ceiling, cut the light on and stand and take a good hard look at yourself. You are the Moorish government, you know, and it took me a long time to get to understand that concept. I self-law am master. If I can govern myself, if I can govern my household, that's what I should be doing. Why should I walk out of my door and then leave everything that I know about myself in the house to go out and adopt something that I have no knowledge thereof? It makes no sense. So we need to stop asking that question. I ask myself this question: if not me, then who?
Death and wisdom, my friends, intelligent creatures, guardians of sacred knowledge, Olmec features, secrets of the afterlife, manifest the present day. Dirty Moors and scoundrels lose their heads in a pleasant way. Deceit and deception, negative past thoughts, keeps awareness on point. Spirit messages never off. Inner realizations, encounter the higher selves. Next plane existence explains my consistence. Without a foe, you never know, so path most resistant.
Raka! North Star! That way. And North Star's that way. Canaanland moves. Read off we pay every day. Okay. Uplift the V cause we all base. We enforce the law and we obey. Forefathers from before and still today. Reading my Quran and my Torah. Universal laws in more ways. Read 4 chapters, receive it 4 ways. Great divine love rules on first. Before I circle blocks, man, I circle 7s first. You bust the image, but your rhymes hurt. Declare 13 disrespected earth. Love, but it's all in God's plan. Today's mathematics don't judge a man. Unity of life, embodiment of truth. I'm responsible for every deed, cause I seen the proof. No, but Drew X. Do I have to draw it out for you? Cause nationality is not a color I can use. Jerry Spruce, standing on my square, even without shoes. Under high authority, spirit of blue. Marcus Garvey, whirlwind times 2. The world's in the wind when the trumpet blew.
Stand up, go into your bathroom. If you got a big floor to ceiling, cut the light on and stand and take a good hard look at yourself. You are the worst government, you know, and it took me a long time to get to understand that concept. I self-law am master. If I can govern myself, if I can govern my household, that's what I should be doing. Why should I walk out of my door and then leave everything that I know about myself in the house to go out and adopt something that I have no knowledge thereof? It makes no sense. So we need to stop asking that question. I ask myself this question: if not me, then who?
Death and wisdom, my friends, intelligent creatures, guardians of sacred knowledge, Olmec features, secrets of the afterlife, manifest the present day. Dirty moths and scoundrels lose their heads in a pleasant way. Deceit and deception, negative past thoughts, keeps awareness on point, spirit messages never off. Inner realizations, encounter the higher selves, next plane existence, explains my consistence. Without a foe, you never know, so paths most resistant. Divinity, my twin flame, side chick and mistress, metaphysic, kabbalistic, almaroc mystic, patriarch, papistics, make my thoughts sadistic, so indigenous, call me Americanistic, invoking the ancestors, Saracen cryptic, suns on rotation, flows ecliptic, shatter all illusions, reveal the realistic, sitting in the dark, holding the light marvelous, recognize the artifice, skin so carbonous, hair so antenna, I feel them from Vienna, myriad of virtues, lessons, and reptilian henna. Enlightenment seekers won't find it in mainstream. Focus as a laser, stay balanced like a beam. Not even a gymnast. Whenever I flip this, as above, so below. Get out when within this. Don't think I'm a slave cause I speak in English. Drew, I'll leave the water, watch your flames get extinguished. Living in your higher, lower self is relinquished. Reputation of master teachers, call it distinguished.
Come see us at Nana's Kitchen. God bless and be safe out there. Love you guys. Nana's Kitchen. Where's it at? Nana's Kitchen. Much love. Bye-bye.
Yes, y'allin', discard them like blunt trash. Active more Avengers, call that a hog smash. Your conscious goons sniffling booze and role models. Won't accept facts and just quarrel. No 5 principles, of course, no profit. Facebook and YouTube names they won't have on the docket. They say go fund me, and when you go fund them and get robbed, I say I told you, don't fund them. Still won't listen and call yourself deaf. While most say middle, my path is right hand or left. Some say your cult and think we worship Baphomet. We just Sufis with shrines for Mohammed. Offerings of fruit for Oya and Oshun. If that won't work, we call in some Shangoons. Summon demons at the full blood and new moons. Mirror steel blade only escaped by a few coons. And those that escaped are on the run and stay running. Falling off the London Bridge or jumping. Nobody beats the Moors.
Nobody beats the
Nobody beats the Moors.
Nobody beats the
Nobody beats the Moors.
Nobody beats the
Nobody beats the Moors. We studied from the masters, we know that stuff we loaded. From Moorish Empire books to hip-hop decoded. Before modern decoders, we studied A.A. Rashid, Conscious Kent Hemet, Basil Lehman Akeem. Moor's order up the table round like Common had soul. We got degrees by the pound, stay uplifting humanity. We got Moors near Japan and lands nether and even Afghanistan. On every Atlantis island, Moors you find them repping Moorish nation, not Turtle Island. Island when it's really a continent. Anybody saying Drew Ali's a myth incompetent, claiming black and Indian nonsense, then begging active Moors to help you out your consequence. We still lend a hand, our first principle love. Realize not a hand, just a stick in a glove.
Nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors. On and on to the break of dawn. Many Negro black scholars coin tell pawns. Doing dirty work, keep you deaf and dumb. With no love, truth, peace, justice, or freedom. Moors have returned, called the ancient ones. We are the copper tone natives, not the Asian ones. Feathers up in turbans, Allah's patient sons. Key man escaped shots from Smith agent guns. Or any coil to pro plans or ceases plots. Not getting a slave name, talking to racist cops. Violating oaths of office and ethics. Never knew I was a Moor, thought I was synthetic. Yes, y'allin', discard them like blunt trash. Active more avengers, call that a hawk smash. Your conscious coon sniffling booze and role models. Won't accept facts and just quarrel. No 5 principles, of course, no profit. Facebook and YouTube names they won't have on the docket. They say go fund me, and when you go fund them and get robbed, I say I told you, don't fund them. Still won't listen and call yourself deaf. While most say middle, my path is right hand or left. Some say your cult and think we worship Baphomet. We just Sufis with trance for Muhammad. Offerings of fruit for Oya and Oshun. If that won't work, we call in some Shangoons. Summon demons at the full blood and new moons. Mirror steel blade only escaped by a few coons. And those that escaped are on the run and stay running. Falling off the London Bridge or jumping.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors. We studied from the masters, we know that stuff we loaded. From Moorish Empire books to hip-hop decoded. Before modern decoders, we studied A.A. Rashid, Conscious Kent Hemet, Basil Lehman Akeem. Moor's order up the table round like Common had soul. We got degrees by the pound, stay uplifting humanity. We got Moors near Japan and lands nether and even Afghanistan. On every Atlantis island, Moors you find them repping Moorish nation, not Turtle Island. Island when it's really a continent. Anybody saying Drew Ali's a myth incompetent, claiming black and Indian nonsense, then begging active Moors to help you out your consequence. We still lend a hand, our first principle love. Realize not a hand, just a stick in a glove.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors. On and on to the break of dawn. Many Negro black scholars coin tell pawns. Doing dirty work, keep you deaf and dumb. With no love, truth, peace, justice, or freedom. Moors have returned, called the ancient ones. We are the copper tone natives, not the Asian ones. Feathers up in turbans, Allah's patient sons. Key man escaped shots from Smith agent guns. Or any coil to pro plans or cease his plots. Not getting a slave name, talking to racist cops. Violating oaths of office and ethics. Never knew I was a Moor, thought I was synthetic. Stop being skeptic, suddenly apologetic. We shut down the psychological warfare methods. Active Moors check it, see it as a lesson. Muftis will know their strength before the foes test it.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
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 Nobody beats the Moors, nobody beats the Moors. Nobody beats the Moors, nobody beats the Moors. Nobody Nobody beats the Moors. Nobody beats the Moors. Nobody beats the Moors. Nobody beats the Moors.
This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts, with Moors they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take more science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the prophet. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma sentence again. Remain cautious, cause often it's in again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again.
This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts, with Moors they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take more science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the prophet. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma sentence again. Remain cautious, cause often it's in again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men. Then you try to lock them up when they riot in. That's okay, cause for freedom I'm diving in. With no knowledge, you come back to die again. Resurrect me not, cause I'd rather be one with Allah.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Islam Moors honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Supreme honors to all. I told you you're gonna have to do Phoenix in doses because Phoenix was too crazy. So you can't just we'll be here for hours. So just some little hits. Some little hits. So Moors got together for the Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice Tour Moorish meetup. And the energy was, you know what I mean, how it's supposed to be. Because we're Moors. And we're together. That means we're living out the prophecies of Drew Ali. So after we saw the bear with the fez, we go to this occult store. And they had everything in there. Crystals, oils, magic books, everything. You name it, they had it there. No. As we're now, the metaphor of the bull in the china shop and all that. Right? But we weren't wilding. But as soon as Moore's got in there, energies were just like stuff was getting hit, things falling off shelves, like it was intense. Then one of the Moors showed us the voodoo doll. The voodoo doll with a fez on. Now, I don't know how much more you need. I don't need too much more because, 08, and we've been still here. We haven't switched to start calling ourselves Africans, and we haven't switched up and said we're free whatever people and switched up and say we're still Moorish Americans, been that. That's what it is. We're not budging. So it's not we're just figuring some stuff out or whatever like that. We're in 100%. Occult store has voodoo doll up there with a fez on. No. We just gotta give it in doses. And then we go to the gas station because we had some lemonade at Nana's and the lemonade was crazy and we didn't get extra. So we needed to get a lemonade. I like a lemonade anyways, but I just needed to get a lemonade. Leaving the thing, here's the paper, right? Arizona Republic. This was the day that the new Pope guy. Now, this is after, end of the day, closing out the day, about to go home. We stopped at the gas station. And this was the closer for the day. Now, if Drew Ali's before this Pope guy, and Drew Ali's before some voodoo doll, then what more you need? You shouldn't need any more than that. But let's just say you do. Let's just say that's not enough. You're probably a zombie. More than likely, you're a zombie. And let you sleeping dogs lie. Right. And then remember, before Pope guy and or before Pope guy, before voodoo dolls and all that stuff, and giant bears with feathers on. It was a thought. It was a thought. Hey, we've got together before, right? Get together again. See what happens. When Moors get together, that's just what it is. And only when you get together with Moors is it gonna register. It's not gonna register until you experience, because that's what this is about. It's all about experiencing. That way, nobody could tell you anything. You didn't get that from some book. You got that from experience. You got that from boots to the ground, hands on the tools. You didn't get this because you read some stuff. So welcome. Q&A Wednesday, where you can email your questions. Canaanlandguide@gmail.com. And do your best to give the answer. Canaanlandguide@gmail.com. Send any questions. So the first question, as the Prophet told us not to be flashing our nationality cards at Europeans, what would be the next best form of identification to have that expresses our nationality? When we look at some other nation, pick a nation other than ours, and you ask them what identification you have, more than likely they're going to give you a license or a passport or some type of quote unquote identification. They're going to give you something with a picture that shows that the picture matches them, right? The picture matches them. There's going to be some type of name appellation on it. It's good. But the individual in front of you and that instrument, that quote unquote identification, that's not used every day, every second, every minute. Interestingly, when you have to do with foreign occupiers occupying your land, that's the only time you have to pull this stuff up. As far as identification. Other than that, you tell somebody, yeah, I'm Kudro, they're going with you that you're Kudro. They don't really see ID or whatever like that. They're gonna go with that. Oh, okay, all right, and I'm whoever they say that they are, and I'm gonna go with that. I'm not gonna ask them, let me see ID, prove to me that you're. That's not always the real world. So we can't mix these two things. Showing identification to European colonists, and then Noble Drew Ali saying, don't flash your cards at Europeans. Right? Drew Ali was saying that back then because there were Moors who were using their nationality card, using it, right, to do BS, and then use their card to say, well, you can't do nothing to me. This is why he's saying that they're causing confusion by flashing at Europeans. Because the people who are flashing at Europeans, they're not living by the principles and all that. They want to do nigger stuff and then use the Moorish nationality to get out of it after. That's why Drew Ali said that back then. Now, 2025, and I just happen to be walking down the street, and some guy in a uniform and a badge and all that stuff has his hand on the gun and all that stuff, and is talking about, let me see your identification card and all that, they're getting a nationality card. You're not getting no corporate docs. Here's a nationality card. Matter of fact, here's also right to travel card. So you have 2 pieces of ID. So you can't say that I didn't identify myself. There you got 2 of them. And those are from my nation. Those aren't corporate documents, which again establishes the territorial, personam, and subject matter jurisdiction that this is diversity. So if you think because some colonist was trying to violate my rights and I have to put identification down, and the individual who over there is a foreigner, and if I don't put identification down, don't forget, they're going to assume jurisdiction. And by their assumption of how I look, they're going to think I'm a black guy and fuck me up. Just because I didn't put it on the record. What's the first issue? Oh, the first issue is status, isn't it? So if you're dealing with these modern European colonists and status is the first issue, anytime you're dealing with colonists in your own land, not only should you present your ID, they got to present theirs too. And that'll definitely prove that it's diversity. Because if they have a corporate document and I have an indigenous document, then there's supposed to be no conversation. The reason why there's conversation is because of the confusion that people cause by wanting to be everything except Moors. And they're going to call themselves everything except Moors. That's why this stuff doesn't go how it's supposed to for the Moors. How come the Moors still get kidnapped? And how come the Moors? Because people out here playing Negro, black, colored games and Indian games. That's why. Because if they said they're Moors, that's the status. That's the first issue. And if we're Moors, that means we're not subordinate to some foreign modern European corporations. We're just not. It's not, some sovereign standing up. It's not that. They're foreign. We're indigenous. So they don't have jurisdiction. It's that simple. The only reason they have jurisdiction is because of assuming. Because you have dummies that are going to say that they're black and they're brown and they're orange and they're purple and they're everything else. They're continents. They're turtle islands and all this. They're going to call themselves everything. Everything they're going to call themselves, except Moors. But when you do a little research, you don't even have to do a lot. You just do a little research. Just a little. Just a little research. The Little African History Book. The Little African History Book. Diop apparently saw the Berbers as originally foreigners rather than indigenous peoples and considers the Moors to be the descendants of Arab settlers who invaded after the Hegira. Diop's position was a disappointment to African-centered scholars such as Van Sertima and others who believed him, particularly on the point of Moorish identity, to have been uncharacteristically mistaken. However, Diop's assertions are not easy to refute, as it is unlikely that the term Moor was used in the same vein before the time of the Hegira. Brunson and Rashidi look at the meaning of the word Moor from antiquity and observe that the word became a terminology used to refer to people with dark and black complexion. The terminology, the word Moor from antiquity, the meaning, not from some Greeks, antiquity. Moor, you're talking about dark or black complexion people. So how you end up calling yourself black and dark and all that when we're Moors? This, however, did not guarantee that Moor was always used exclusively to describe Africans, although this was certainly the case in the time of Shakespeare and the European Renaissance. The term Moor was used by Europeans to describe the African Arab, and Arab people who invaded Spain. Later, its usage became even more diverse in meaning, referring to any people who resembled these invaders. Hence, the term was used diversely to refer to black people or people of dark complexion in comparison to Europeans, as well as people from the same region the invaders were perceived to have come from, mainly Morocco. And everybody in the world knows Morocco's empire. Everybody in the world knows. And only the dummies above Mexico who want to be everything else except Moors could never figure this stuff out. Only them. Only them. Like only them? All right. All right. No problem. No problem. So Noble Drew Ali said, "Don't flash your cards at Europeans." He was talking to those traders back then who were using their nationality card to get out of BS, not doing stuff for the nation and then showing their nationality card, doing BS. And then they're showing nationality cards talking about they don't have jurisdiction when they're doing BS. You're driving on the sidewalk and talking about they don't got jurisdiction. Dummy, you're on the sidewalk with the damn car. What you mean they don't have jurisdiction? Because now you're crossing into you're incompetent. How you get behind the damn wheel? You're not racist and all that stuff. You go through a McDonald's window and you're talking about they don't have jurisdiction because you have right to travel. Really? If that's the mindset that you have as a Moor, that you can go out here and do some BS, and because you're a Moor, these modern Europeans don't have jurisdiction, and you could do whatever you want. That's not where it's at. So that thing has nothing to do with us today dealing with modern European colonists who are occupying our land, right? Having us under all these adhesion contracts, having us going into all their places of psychological warfare, whether it's health, whether it's learning, whether it's whatever. Dealing with those people, you better put your status on the record. And you better put it in any way that you have to. Because these people are criminals. And all they're enforcing is black codes and Negro acts on anybody who looks dark-skinned. So you better have a nationality. If you don't have a nationality and you're playing around, your ancestors were Sabians and all this, and you can't prove that right now. Just like when you go to the bank and you got to prove that you are who you are. You're not just going in there and you could go into somebody else's box and all that. Status, first issue. First issue. You go to school. First thing teacher wants to do, take attendance so you can know your damn name. Oh, you're the joker who got 0%. Right? Status, the first issue. If we're saying that we're honoring Noble Drew Ali, then we can't be showing our nationality cards because what? Because they're going to assume you're Negro if you don't prove to them who you are. If you don't prove to them who you are, they're assuming you're Negro. They're assuming you're black. And if we're saying that we're black people, then these people have jurisdiction and they could do whatever they want, which is why they would do whatever they want. Kneel on your neck in the street, murder your children, whatever. That's not racism. That's you're in a dead status. Willingly in a dead status. So if you do have a nationality card, right, this does not mean going out there and showing it off to everybody like you're an idiot. Right? You are the Moor. That card and that paper and whatever, that's not the Moor. You're the Moor. So what the Moor always say, you say, be in habit. So as soon as they see oh, that's not a black guy. Oh, that's not a black guy. Oh. Just like you see somebody in Jalabia and you already know, especially if it's Friday. You don't got to go ask them, hey, are you going to the mosque? You already know what's up. Problem is, too many of our people think they know what's up, believe they know what's up. They don't know jack. They don't know jack. So make sure be very protective of your birthright. Be very protective of your birthright. Because people out here stealing your birthright to do BS with it. And be the mastermind. Don't just be loose in what you're doing. Be the mastermind. Contemplate. Think things through. Get some other perspectives from some other Moors. This is not about winging it. Fake it till you make it and all that stuff. That's not. You better know. You better be sure. Be sure. And the other part, don't forget this part. How about living the life where you don't have to see these people? The people who you're going to have to show the ID to? How about you don't see them, so you don't have to show your ID? Live by the principles. If you live by the principles, it'll get you out of certain situations, but you have to live it. Because again, it's about experience. It's not about opinion. It's about, do you know thyself? Do you know thyself? Or is that just some statement and then that's that? Live by the principles. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Only 5. Live by those. Live by those. Because if you don't see them, if you don't see these people, then you're not even concerned about showing ID and all that stuff. Because it's not even, it's never, you're just going to have this thing. As soon as you're going to go deal with the European colonial feudal offices, this thing's coming up, identification. Other than that, right? So like even that's a social engineering form. The idea of, having this colonist be the so-called government that our people have to go to them instead of just having their own government. Why not just have your own government? Don't we have people that went to Yale and Harvard and all that stuff? So what the hell is wrong with us? Oh, we don't have a nationality. So when we learn, we go and give it right back. Where other people learn, they go build their nation. Interesting. Oh, and they're not going around the world talking about their adjectives and all that either. They have a nationality. And their nationality goes back into antiquity, just like they're saying Moors is ancient. And these people let Van Sertima, all of them, let them know. Shake hands to the nuts. We're Moors. Van Sertima is doing the research over here. He's doing the research over here about Moors here. Like they came before Columbus. Like Moors been here. They never called themselves Moors. Were they dark-skinned people? Or some modern Europeans? They were dark-skinned people. All right, so they were Moors then. It's real easy. It's real easy. It's real simple to get. So if that didn't straighten you up, just send another question. Let's see. How am I supposed to deal with my Ghanaian mate who is not on Moor science, though supportive of my decision to be a Moor? Well, the key that you have to accept is that your mate's Ghanaian. They already have a nationality. They're not a Negro, black colored like us. So they don't have a detox. They don't have to do an exorcism. They already know what's up. They're looking at you like you're the dummy. Because you ask them if they make some food, they're gonna make you some Ghanaian stuff. They're not making you some modern European dinner. And they say, the flavors. And they'll be able to break down everything to you. And we're the problem. The Negro is the problem. So being that you're on the science, know that they already got the science already. You're late. Right? You're late and you got to get caught up to the place of where they're at. They know that they're a nation. Me no black. They got nationality. And they wish our people would wake the hell up. and know who it is that we are, so that we can balance this thing out. And so the fact that they support you lets you know that you must be onto something. If they're like, oh yeah, they're Ghanaian, they have nothing to do with Moors or whatever, but they're like, oh yeah, no, oh yeah, wow, that's interesting, good. No debate, no refute, no, that's not real, or none of that. None of that. They're going with everything. They might even sit there with you, watch some stuff or whatever like that. But they have nationality already. We're the ones late. Right? Because remember, in their nation, they don't know what being black is and all that stuff. Nation is nation. They don't have these group of people among them who are talking about they're black people. We're Africans, not Ghanaians, because the Ghanaians are the slave traders, and then they stole us into slavery and sold us to the European, and they taught the European everything. They don't got people in their nation that think like that. You ever wonder why they don't have people like that? Remember, you ever wonder why Chinese don't have some yellow people? That they're talking about yellow rights and yellow schools and yellow this and that, and then the Chinese are tell them, no, you're not yellow, you're Chinese. You ever wonder how come they don't have this issue? Only these certain people have this their adjective incompetence. Only them. Everybody else has a nationality. So the fact that you're on the science and your mate is supporting you and they're of a different nationality, then you must be onto something. They're just waiting for you to catch up. Right? Which, again, which is why we have our bodies, our crew of Moors, our politic of Moors. Because it's really supposed to be everybody who's considered Negro, black, colored, Indian, and all that stuff saying that they're Moors. Because they have this block that they're everything except Moors. Then we could only work with the ones who know that they're Moors. And then to the dummies, it looks like, oh, that's nothing's going on with that because only 8 people are there. But these 500 people are the ones keeping this stuff going right now. That these people even have something called rights. They were just murdered them all already. They already saw King Alfred plan, and they were going vaporization on these people, the minorities. But they kept them around because they realized that they're economic base. Why are they gonna get rid of their economic base? The dummies who's gonna buy the $800 belts and all other foolishness. They're keeping the beast system alive. And then when they're done with you, look at what they're doing to their boy right now. They'll run you through the ringer after they're done with you. Because you weren't for your people. You're actually a traitor. And that's why people don't like blacks and all that. They don't like Indians. They don't like them. They steal their land and all that stuff. They don't like black guys. You see them kick their ass. Because they're racist? No. Because nobody wants to be around the dead status. No one wants to be around the dead status. No, none of the civilized people. All you see is dead status, like to be around dead status. And the world's like, all right, fine, we're over here. You want to be an economic base? Go right ahead. We'll keep this finance going around in our community 500 times. and then they'll have something. And then our people missing it because they thought what the Moors are talking about. Oh no, that's not what it is. But they're gonna go support some Burkina Faso. And they're gonna be 100 in for Burkina Faso, but they're not in for the Moors and our nation, which includes them. But they're with some foreigner over there, the nation, talking about their brother and all this. Their brother here, they didn't do anything for their brother here. They didn't do a damn thing for their brother here. They didn't support their brother one bit. But now they're looking across, they're seeing some revolution in some other nation, and now they're looking over there talking about their brothers go march solidarity with them and all that. Where's the solidarity with your brothers here? Where is it at? Interesting. Interesting. So, realize and recognize that your mate has a nationality. They already know all their history and all that stuff. They know themselves. They know who they are. They're not confused about who they are. They have a nationality. That's it. And their nation has a timeline, and they trace themselves back. How long their nation's been there. And nobody's going to tell them, nah, that ain't how it is or whatever. Because anybody could go research and find it out too. So because we're in this behind place, and then we think we know something. But it's good that you got the support. That should inspire you. Don't worry about well, how come they're not reading as much as I am, and how come they're not watching the videos? And because they already know what's up. They got nationality already. They already have a nationality. You having yours now, it's only gonna it should only make things better. But again, to the people who are nationals already, it's dumb. It's dumb to us. Right? Like what we're doing. What do you mean you have to tell your people about their nationality? Like, what do you mean? Why do you have to do that? Shouldn't they already know about what they're not? Shouldn't they know their history? Well, colonization. Yeah, we're colonized. What do you mean? I don't understand what you're talking about. And Moors break it down with other nations. The first thing they always say is, how come your people don't know what you know? Do your people know that if they know what you know, they can solve their problems and all that? They're different nationals from wherever. When Moors build with them, this is the response. The response is that they already know what's up. But again, this for the two in the back. Because the masses are asses, and they're not about some know thyself and all that. And they're about trends. More and more isn't trending. So they're not on it. You read something yesterday about Matt D stating prophet is within. Does that mean we are the prophet, like we are Allah in flesh? Prophet. All right, let's just pull up this thing. So we always look at the we always look at the metaphysical meaning. We always look at the metaphysical meaning, just so our perspective could be broader. You're never going to go with the mundane. So in the metaphysical meaning of prophet, a teacher, one who receives the inspiration of spirit, an understanding of spiritual law, and imparts it to others. That's the being. Right? Receive the inspiration from the spirit, an understanding of spiritual law, and imparts it to others. Right? We have Juali's literature of him imparting it to others. Right? Him talking about Allah sent him and all that stuff. So that spirit inspiration. And you already know that Juali dealt with every kind of law once you go through his literature. A prophet in individual consciousness is a thought that is in contact with spirit, that receives revelations direct from the Holy Spirit. It knows and understands divine law and its working. Therefore, it warns and instructs the other thoughts. The prophets of old seemed to stand between God and the people. It was through them that the people received divine guidance. A prophet is one who states the spiritual law. The prophets of Luke represent divine law. The prophet of John is the promise of God. Prophet. So, Prophet Noble Juali, that's not, we could just imitate that, but we're not Prophet Noble Juali, right? This is why the whole thing with the Mahdi thing and them, well, he's dead and all that stuff, right? So when people take it on, I'm the prophet, I'm Allah, that's not the being, that's the individual consciousness. So Prophet Noble Juali, no one could take that position. That's his. That's his. We're not the prophet. We're not the prophet. Right? There's already that. The only way that the concept would be there of them being a prophet, because prophet is within, is because of ego. Because anybody talking about some after Noble Juali is the prophet, wilding. They don't honor what Noble Juali brought. Now there's another one. There's another one. Metaphysical meaning of prophet. One who receives the inspiration of spirit, understands spiritual law, and imparts it to others. The prophets of old seem to stand between God and the people. It is through them that the people receive divine guidance. Metaphysically, the prophet is that in us which discerns the working of the law. Transgress law brings its own punishment, and it is the prophet of the Lord that sees its outworking in our life. It is the prophet in us that often warns and keeps us from transgressing the law, because we discern what the result will be. We discern what the result will be if we're exercising with the prophet is within us. So the prophet within him should have told him that having a Mahdi, that's not where it's at, especially at 200 notes, because if this is the people's birthright and it's locked down like that, that this is what everybody needs and what everybody should have, then they should be just sending in their appellation, their picture, their whatever it is, and they should be getting that just for being a Moor. You get that if it's like that. If that's the all and be all and there's nothing else, then there should be no 200 notes and all that stuff. Matter of fact, they should be covering it. All Moorish Americans, it is time. We have the authority, however they got it. And all you got to do is send in your nationality card. Just send a picture of your nationality card and we'll send you your Mahdi, because the prophet is within us. They're not be talking about no 200 or 170 or 150 or anything like that. They wouldn't even go there. If going to what they're saying, the prophet is within. All right, if the prophet's within, and they're it now, because it can't be Noble Ali, because Noble Ali is dead. So we have to be the prophet and all that stuff. All that's ego. Because everybody knows that there's only one prophet, and that's Noble Ali. As far as in our time, I'm not talking about some honoring some past prophets. We're talking about prophet from our time. Who else could you put down? Name some other people. And I bet you everybody that you name is going to be after Noble Ali that they started calling themselves prophet. Because nobody was saying it before him. And also keep in mind too, false prophets, deceptive thoughts that have been built up by error, selfish desires. False prophets are the representations of deceptive religious thoughts. They seem innocent and harmless like sheep, but are in reality selfish and dangerous. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravening wolves. Remember prophets within, right? Right. So you don't think you have a false prophet within if they're playing prophets within? And based on what we see from these people, from the things that they're teaching, wrong concepts and all that stuff, we know that they're false prophets. They can't be the prophet within. There's no way that they could be it, because they're not even following the guidelines of prophet within. All ego, all selfishness, all selfishness. Be fortunate that it's not you. It's not you. Be grateful that it's not you. You know, that you studied, you took some time with this. Because once you know, they can't tell you jack. Once they know, they can't tell you jack. Which Moorish flag is correct? The one with the 5-point green star, interlaced star with black borders, or the one with the solid green star, or both? I see Moors representing both. Exactly. You see Moors representing both. Again, when you go back to Noble Drew Ali, said red flag, green 5-point star in the center. Red flag, green 5-point star. You can specify star, solid star, interlaced star, black outline of green 5-point star in the center. Red flag, green 5-point star in the center. Now, when you do the history on them, you see that the interlace came later. You also see that the interlace is movement. It's energy moving. And the green star is Venus. And Venus moves. That's why it's a 5-point star, because it's how this is playing out. It's energy. It's vibration. And the first principle is love. And Venus is, so the 5-point green star, the 5-point green star being Venus is all of those different versions. And all the different versions are the different aspects or whatever that makes up Venus. There's always some type of connection. And you're gonna have claims made, that the red flag with the green star and it's not interlaced. It's a green star. When you check the pictures, convention pictures, all right, flags right there. Already showing you what it is. But I get the claiming both, because whoever's saying that they're the Moroccans and the interlaced stars theirs and all that stuff, they don't really have a claim unless they're Moor. Unless they're saying they're Moors, they don't have a claim. That's why you would see a lot of Asiatics cower and make up some other flag and say that that's a flag, when that's not a flag. That's a banner that they just made up. And the only flag for this jurisdiction above Mexico is that red flag with the green 5-point star in the center. That's the only flag, because it's the oldest. Right? Go ask the Israelites. They got a flag. They say they're a nation, right? What's their flag? I'm gonna tell you some stuff that they made up. Right? Go ask the ancient Egyptian, whoever's. They're Egyptian. That's a nation, isn't it? All right. So where's their flag? The black Egyptians who they talk about, they came from the pharaohs and all that. Where's their flag? Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be found. Why? Yeah. It's about not getting It's about not getting caught up in the what causes the division. You know, so you have some of us over there, they got the interlace one, and then some over here, they got a solid one, and some over here, and then they're when all of them are a green 5-point star. If they honor Noble Drew Ali, all of them are a green 5-point star. Again, even though you could go and it would show you. Right? It's not like the stuff's not there. You know, it might appear like that, like it's not there, but you can't escape it. Just look up Noble Drew Ali in images, and then you'll see the office picture. See the office picture with the flag right there, and it's not interlaced, and it's not bold. And that's just from the picture of Drew Ali's, you know. But I'm not saying it's a violation because they have the interlace, because you know, so they have it where now that might be the only one that you can get. You know, I heard Moor say they can't find the actual. All they get is the interlace one every time they order. You know, is that on those Moors? You know what I mean? That they're blocking them from having their own flag. So, all right, fine. Then we're claiming this too. You know, we're claiming this too. Because we're not dealing with the subordinates having a say. You know, the people who are talking kingdom, they don't have a say. Empire has the say. Kingdom only has the so-called authority because the empire is asleep. Empire wants to play Negro, black, colored, and Indian. So the appearance is that, you know, people have more going on. But you let all these Asiatics in America who say that they're everything except Moors start saying they're Moors. Look how fast stuff's going to turn around for the people as a whole. And then you're really going to see brothers from the East coming over. You think they're here now. You know. So I'm with the Moors who do both and claim it all. Claim it all. It's all our stuff. And unfortunately, we've been played for a long time. And as usual, by our own. As usual. We're prepping for Mecca. Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice Tour. Back on it again. June solstice. We're going to be near Mecca. So any Moors, you already know. You already know what's going down if we go to Mecca. You already know. You know. If you don't know, just check the Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice tour archives of the last Mecca sessions. Right? So honors to all the Moors who stay supporting the tour. Honors to all the Moors. You're doing great work, Moors. You're doing great work. Yeah, well, Mecca's the foundation. You know what I mean? That's where it all started for Canaanland. That's where it all started. So that's just gonna be a spot forever. Forever. There would be no Canaan land. There'd be no Canaan land if it wasn't for the Moors near Mecca. Put us on game to Drew Ali. Put us on game to Drew Ali. Well, no, we got Nazarite. We got Nazarite vow. We don't shave and all that stuff. That's I haven't seen our Clippers in it's the 90s. I don't know what the lineup is. All I know is comb or brush now. Lineup ain't happening. Ain't happening. But if you do the lineup thing, yeah, for sure. Once you're in Mecca, check Brother Kush, get that crispy. Honors to our prophet, our Egyptian adept, Noble Drew Ali. We don't give a what that you have to say. We're with the prophet, Noble Drew Ali, for eternity. Eternity. We know what he brought. And we've saved ourselves with it. Honors to all you Moors who saved yourself. Honors to you. And once you save yourself, you went and tried to save some other ones too. Honors to you. Keep up the great work. All the matriarchs and all the fathers raising the children right on this information so that they know who they are. Honors to you. Supreme love to all the Moors in the chat. Mecca's going to be off the chain once again. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Anywhere you're at, you're a Moor. Honors to you. Islam, Moors.